Hello everyone. I've got one trigonometric inequation today, that is sin x cos cube x greater than sin cube x cos x. And the condition on x is that it lies between pi and 2 pi. And also there is no equal to sign at two ends. That means x equal to pi and x equal to 2 pi will not be part of the solution set. And all four options for the solution set are in the form of intervals. And they look decent. That means if you solve sincerely, then I'm sure you will reach at one of the options. Now, never try to jump to the conclusion just by seeing the options. My sincere request to you is that please, all the time, you solve the entire question and then only look for the correct option in given four options. Now, let us start. Your inequation is sin x cos cube x greater than sin cube x cos x. And whenever such inequation is given to you, we try to bring all the terms on same side most of the time and then try to factorize if possible. And I did that and I found this as product of three factors, that is sin x, cos x and cos square x minus sin square x. And this is greater than 0 and I name this as 1. Now, whenever you are given an inequation in which now you are given product of three factors, it is surely not easy to solve. Now, then from where to start? I have not yet used that x lies between pi and 2 pi. X lies between pi and 2 pi means your x is in third or fourth quadrant. And if that is the case, then sin x has a particular sign in third and fourth quadrant. What is that? That sin x is negative in third and fourth quadrant. So I try to use this and I go for this now. Now sin x is negative, entire product is positive, then remaining part, which is cos x into cos square x minus sin square x, this will have to be negative. Okay, so I make that conclusion that cos x into cos square x minus sin square x is less than 0 and I name this as 2. Now still there is no immediate any clue that how to go further. But when I look at this interval again, that it is pi to 2 pi, my attention goes to that what about x equal to 3 pi by 2? X equal to 3 pi by 2 does not satisfy inequation 2. Now, instead of solving inequation 1, I am actually aiming at solving inequation 2, which I have found from inequation 1 only. Okay, so I substitute x equal to 3 pi by 2 here in inequation 2 and I realize that you are getting a meaningless statement, 0 less than 0 kind of thing. Why? Because cos 3 pi by 2 is 0. So the entire product on the left hand side becomes 0 and you are left with one meaningless statement, that is 0 less than 0. So x equal to 3 pi by 2 surely does not satisfy the inequation. So obviously that will not be part of solution set for sure. But don't leave that x equal to 3 pi by 2. Try to hold it and use it. How do I do that? That I try to divide the interval pi to 2 pi in two parts. First case I take as that x lies between pi and 3 pi by 2. That means your x is in third quadrant. Okay. And which inequation we are solving? That is cos x into cos square x minus sin square x less than 0, which I had named as 2. And you are in third quadrant. And see now what happens. In third quadrant, cos x is negative. Now, since cos x is negative here, an entire product is negative. So I can write something about now cos square x minus sin square x. And what is that? That cos square x minus sin square x will have to be positive, and for that sin square x will have to be less than 0. Okay, now at least more easier inequation I have found. Now to solve this further, I divide by cos square x on both the sides and I go for furthermore easier statement, which is tan square x less than 1. Okay. Now what happens to tan square x less than 1? It is of the form x square less than a square. And you know how to write solution of x square less than a square, this type of inequation. If you are good at solving inequation, then I'm sure you would immediately write solution for tan square x less than 1. And that is nothing but that tan x lies between minus 1 and 1. Okay. Now, at least some range I have found for tan x. And if that is the case, then I think that I am in position to get now set of values of x, which will give me that tan x lies between -1 and 1. Still something is left. We are in third quadrant. And if we are in third quadrant, then tan x is positive, right? And if tan x is positive, then why to concentrate values which are here? That means I'm talking about values of tan x which are negative or 0. They are of no use for us. Okay, so we try to now eliminate those values, and we will say that our tan x lies between now 0 and 1. This is more stronger statement than the previous one. Now, how to get actual values of x? Now, if you are in third quadrant, that means you are in pi to 3 pi by 2, and at 5 pi by 4, tan x becomes equal to 1. And we are looking for the values which are between 0 and 1. Means less than 1 you are looking for. So don't you think we should look for this part of graph of tan x? Okay. And for that, values of x are between pi and 5 pi by 4. Okay. So at least one interval I am able to get that x belongs to pi comma 5 pi by 4. And I name this as 3. Now understand one thing, this is not still the complete solution set, but it is part of solution set for sure. Okay. Now we go for the fourth quadrant part. And that fourth quadrant means your x lies between 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi. And inequation is same, still to solve, that cos x into cos square x minus sin square x less than 0, which I had named as 2. Okay. And you are in fourth quadrant. Don't forget that. And in fourth quadrant, now you have some condition on cos x. Cos x is always positive. And if cos x is positive, that means this part is positive and your entire product is negative. So what will happen to cos square x minus sin square x? Now cos square x minus sin square x will have to be negative. Okay. Now try to write one easier statement from here, that I write as sin square x greater than cos square x. And what did we do just now before? That we divided by cos square x on both sides. So I will do that same again here also. And I divide by cos square x on two sides and I get tan square x greater than 1. Now, this is better inequation, right? Which we can handle at least. Now, tan square x greater than 1 means it is of the form x square greater than a square. And how to write solution of x square greater than a square? That you have done when we solve inequations. Okay. So, we try to write solution for tan square x greater than 1 from here. And that tells me that tan x is either less than -1 or tan x is greater than 1. Now again, some range at least I have for tan x. And from here, perhaps I will be able to find out what are the values of x. Okay. Now, you are in fourth quadrant, don't forget. Now, if you are in fourth quadrant, then tan x is negative. If tan x is negative, then don't you think that this part is of no use? That we are saying tan x greater than 1. Because this will surely give me all positive values of tan x. Correct? So, we will try to eliminate this. That we do not want this. Now tan x greater than 1 will have to be rejected, and now you will have only condition that tan x is less than -1. Now how to deal with it? Again, go for graph and try to draw graph between now 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi. Concentrate only in this part. Now you are saying tan x is less than -1. Now this is part of the graph of tan x in interval 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi. Now tan x less than -1 will happen here, because at 7 pi by 4, x equal to 7 pi by 4, values of tan x, if you look for, it is nothing but -1, equal to -1. Now if you go up, then values will increase and you will get answer for tan x greater than -1. And you want actually tan x to be less than -1. Means you will have to move below this side. So what are the corresponding values of x? They lie between 3 pi by 2 and 7 pi by 4. Okay. So from here I get values of x interval. That interval is 3 pi by 2 comma 7 pi by 4, and I name this as 4. Now I tried to solve the inequation in two parts. Third quadrant separately and fourth quadrant separately. And now what is my next task? It should be that I should be able to join those two intervals, and if I'm joining those two intervals, they will have to be joined only with help of union. So x belongs to pi comma 5 pi by 4, union 3 pi by 2 comma 7 pi by 4. And that is your option D. So correct answer is D. Now you have solved the question, and I'm sure you must have understood also how, part by part we tried to solve. Now just beyond this, I'm trying to tell you something. Now this question looks little difficult at initial stage if you do not have any clue, but I'm sure after understanding the solution, you all must have realized that it is not that difficult. It is actually that we are playing with the conclusion part. And this is the difference between JEE mains and JEE advanced. JEE mains questions are mostly, little straightforward, and JEE advanced questions need your more testing. I mean, like your fundamentals should be clear, like your definition should be clear to you, and so many things we try to use here, like third quadrant, fourth quadrant, signs of, those trigonometric functions like cos x and tan x and sin x, everything should be known to you. We tried to use too many things, and at top of it, actually we used inequations. And did you realize that I solved here trigonometric inequation? I didn't solve algebraic inequation, but actually all fundamentals of trigonometric inequation solving here needed fundamentals of like algebraic inequations. So realize this, that most of the time JEE questions are mixture of two or more topics. So please don't get disheartened and try to go by the fundamentals what you have learned, and then try to like solve layer by layer, as I tried here. Okay, so this is how we have solved this inequation. I just felt that this is a good question to start with, to give you the complete idea that what kind of questions you are expecting, like how to apply what you have learned in basics of trigonometry. Okay, so here I take your leave. Like in next session, again, I will be getting something new for you. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.